Hello, this is my mini tutorial series where we're just going to look at one part of one song very briefly for about 4 minutes. I'm just going to give you a flavour of the song, look at one of the trickier parts and how to get through that, and then you can either have a go at the whole song yourself or I'll leave you with a link at the end of the video to both my sing-along and tutorial for that song so you can take a little bit further if you want to, or like I say, you might just jump straight into it and give it a go yourself. So we're going to look today at Be Our Guest, which is one of Disney's most joyful and hilarious songs. I feel it's just such a fun and fresh song to sing, full of life and energy. So we're going to have a look at the second verse, and it goes a little bit like this. Beef, ragu, cheese souffle, pie and pudding on flambe. We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabaret. You're alone and you're scared, but the banquet's all prepared. No one's gloomy or complaining while the flatware's entertaining. We tell jokes, I do tricks with my fellow candlesticks, and it's all in perfect taste that you can bet. Come on and lift your glass, you've won your own free pass to be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. And you can see straight away there's a whole song wrapped up in just that one verse. There's so much to look at. So if you master that, most of the song is basically following that chord progression and those chord patterns. There is a bit of a bridge in the middle that's different, but most of the song follows a similar layout to that. So if we can master that one verse, you can have a go at the whole song. Also, the first verse does the same thing, but in a very lilting, a very slow, be our guest, be our guest. So it's a nice slow introduction to the song before we go full on into the full strumming there. So the strumming obviously is, if I do it on the G, down, down, up, up, down, up. And don't hold back on it, it's quite a fast one. Beef ragu, cheese souffle, pie and pudding on flambe. So let's jump into the chords, which are the main challenge for this verse. So I want to start with that little loop I've just done. Actually, it's a lovely variation on all the G's that you can have. So it starts with the G, which I assume people can play, but do have a look at it if not. And then we'll look at the G major 7. You flatten your second finger across the C, E, and A strings on the second fret there. It's a lovely variation on the G. So it's a semi-bar there. Then we've got the G6, where we put our first finger on the A string on the second fret and our second finger above it on the C string. So it's basically like a G, but without the third finger on the third fret there. And then back to the G. So once you realise that the G6 is actually 2/3 of the G, and we just add our third finger on the third fret on the E string for the G, then we can easily go from the G6 back to the G. So we've got that lovely loop. Let's just do that slowly with the strumming pattern. Beef ragu, cheese souffle, pie and pudding on flambe. Again. G, G major 7, G6 to the G. So that's the first challenge in the song. Have a look at that little loop that comes up all the time, and it's a lot of fun to play. It's really nice seeing the different versions of a G chord that you can have as well. So that's one challenge there. Then we carry on. We're on the G. We'll prepare and serve with flair up to the E7 there. We'll prepare and serve with flair. So for the E7, just bear in mind that your second finger there, which is on the second fret on the C string, does not need to move. You're going to pivot your first and third finger around from the G to the E7. Keep that second finger in place. We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabaret. For the A minor 7, we lift off, and then the D. Now, it's good to have a strap there for that, because if you're not careful, you don't want to have to support the neck. It's such a fast-moving song. You don't want to have to be thinking about the weight of your ukulele in the neck. You really want to be able to just lift off and maybe just hold it at the back with your thumb, and the strap allows you to do that. If you don't have a strap, you're going to be trying to hold the instrument in your hand. That makes it hard to then go on to the next chord. So we go from the E7 to the A minor 7, a culinary cabaret to the D, which is your second finger on the second fret across the G, C, and E strings. Cabaret, you're alone. Here we've got the A minor, alone and you're scared. And then we've got the A minor major 7. What is that? Don't ask, but you can look it up if you're interested in the musical theory. It's called an A minor major 7. On the chord diagram, it's just 7. A lowercase m, capital M, which stands for major, and then the 7. So we've got the A minor, it's the A minor major 7, which is basically first finger on the first fret on the G string. So we go from the second fret to the first fret. You can either slide your finger down, or it's really easy just to go from second finger to the first finger. You're alone and you're scared, but the banquet's all prepared. And we do that loop again from the A minor 7 to the D. No one's back to the A minor 7, gloomy or complaining, while the flatware's entertaining. And then we've got there the G diminished 7, G dim 7. And that's a lovely chord. So we're going from our A minor 7. Remember, the strap really helps us play that without having to hold the instrument, because here you need to grab the G dim 7, which is your first finger on the A string on the first fret, and the second finger above it on the C string. So you've got to go from nothing to that, which is quite tricky. Where were we? No one's gloomy or complaining. Well, then we go to the D and the D7. Flatware's entertaining. And then we're back to the G loop. We tell jokes, I do tricks with my fellow candlesticks. And it's back to the G6 again. All imperfect. G7 here. Well, why not? Just for extra variation. Taste that you can bet on the A minor 7. Come on. And then we have to jump to the B. Lift your glass, you've won your A minor 7. Own free pass to be our A minor guest. Be our D7 guest, be our G guest. So there's so much to look at there. The only other thing I haven't mentioned that we did very quickly there in passing was to jump to the B. So we've gone from the A minor 7 to the B. And you've really got to be able to just pluck that B out of nowhere. A minor 7, B. So you just got to really get building that muscle memory to get used to just grabbing that B out of nowhere. So that is the verse. That's the second verse as it is. There's 4 verses in total. There's a bit of a bridge in the middle as well. But if you can master all of those chords in that verse, you'll be able to have a go at this song. So do look it up on my channel. I'm going to leave at the end of the video now the link to both the sing-along, where you can just play the whole song if you think you're ready to have a go at it, or the tutorial as well, if you want to learn a bit more about the song in depth and have a bit more of an extended walkthrough. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe if you do. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is my mini tutorial for I Wanna Be Like You. We're going to spend 4 minutes looking at just part of the song, so you can then go away and either study the song a little bit more to learn in full, or just have a go and play through it straight off. So it's up to you what you do. I'll leave some links at the end of the video so you can explore the song in more detail if you want to, or you can just go away and play it afterwards. But we're going to look at the chorus, which is the hardest part of the song, and we're going to jump straight into that now. So the verse is really easy. It's just A minor and E7. There's 2 verses and they're both the same. Just like this. Now I'm the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. It's just a nice, easy down, down, up pattern all the way through that. So that's really easy to put the verses together. The tricky bit is the chorus, because I really tried to mix it up a little bit with the strumming to make it a lot more interesting. So it goes a little bit like this. Ooby-doo, I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you too. You'll see it's true, an ape like me can learn to be human too. Now you might think I was just mixing up all sorts of random strumming patterns there, but it's very deliberate where I strum and which pattern I strum on each chord. So I just want to talk you through that, because if you can get your head around that, it works really well. And obviously, you know, you can just mix it up in any way you want to when you play it. But this is the way I like to do it, and I've sort of worked it out really carefully. And it just flows, and it has a lot of energy like that. You can do the whole song, the whole chorus. Oh, hooby-doo, I wanna be like you. And just do the down, down, up all the way through. It just loses that energy, loses that drive, which I think makes it so fun. So start on the C. And you'll see I've got 3 different patterns here, and 4 different patterns, in fact. I've got the red coloured chords, or orange coloured chords, which are the down, down, up, up, down. If you have a quick look at my sheet music. Ooby-doo. And then I switch to the blue one, which is on the same chord, just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So we'll do the ooby-doo, and then we'll switch. Ooby-doo, switch, I wanna be like. You can feel that drive pushing it forward with that. Then we switch to the A7, back to the down, down, up, down, up. You switch again, down, up, down, up, down. I wanna D7, the down, down, up, down, up. Walk like you, stay on that, talk like you too. Now here, you'll see I've got a green chord and then a purple chord, a green C, and then the purple G7. So what we're doing now is splitting the down, down, up, down, up across 2 chords. We're doing 2 chords on the C, 2 strums on the C, down, down, and then we do the up, down, up on the purple G7. 2, you'll see it's true. Just gives us that tiny little lift to the G7 and back. You can play it through without the G7. Walk like you, talk like you too. You'll see it's true. It's just a bit boring. So the G7 really adds a little bit of lift and energy to that line. Walk like you, talk like you too. Here we go. Down, down, up, down, up. You'll see it's true. And then we're back to the blue, down, up, down, up. An ape like, switch back me. Switch again to the blue. Can learn to be human too. So I hope that's relatively simple to follow when you have a look at the different colours and what they stand for. But actually that mix of different strumming patterns really makes it an interesting part of the song to perform. So I hope you enjoy that. And if you've enjoyed the video, please do look at my other videos as well. Like I say, I'll leave the full tutorial I've done at the end now, so you can look at that in more depth if you want to. Or if you think you're ready for the whole song, click on my sing-along instead, and you can have a look at the whole song there. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. This is my 4-minute mini tutorial for Over the Rainbow, which is just a wonderful song to play on the ukulele. And I'm going to just give you a taste of it now with the main verse and talk you through that. And then if you want to study it in more detail, I'll leave the link to the tutorial I've done at the end of the video and also the sing-along. So if you want to just go straight into the song, you can look at that as well. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's jump straight in. I'm going to focus on the main verse, then talk you through how it goes like this. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh. So the first thing to note, this is very different to the original Wizard of Oz, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that was sung all those years ago. This is very different. And the really main point to focus on is at the end of each line, instead of going back to the root chord, once in a lullaby, going back to that C, we're then going to the A minor and then the F, and the whole thing just lifts up. Once in a lullaby to the F, and then we carry on at that pitch. Somewhere over the rainbow. So it's a very different style of playing. But those leading lines, like I say, instead of going back to the C, going off to the A minor and the F, just carry it really nicely into the next part of the song. So it just works really, really well. And it's worth mastering, although it's a bit of a challenge on the old vocals. So it's a relatively easy chord progression. It's C, E minor, F, C for the first line. So let's just do that slowly. And the whole strumming pattern for all of it we're doing is down, down, up, down, up. So C. We'll do it twice on each one. E minor, then F, back to the C. Let's do that with the vocals. Somewhere, E minor, over the rainbow, F, way up, C, high. And then on the second line, we're going to go to the F, again twice, back to the C, then the G, and then we're going to go to the A minor and the F. Sing that one. And the sea dreams that you dream of, G, once in a lullaby. A minor to F. Then back to the C, E minor, F, and C. Somewhere, E minor, over the rainbow, F. C, fly. Then same as we did in the second line, F, C, G, A minor and F. F and the C, dreams that you dream of, G, dreams really do come, A minor to the F, true, F, ooh. Okay, and then we go into the rest of the song. And it's not really that challenging, but it's quite different to the standard Over the Rainbow that you might be used to. And it's a beautiful version to learn on your ukulele. So do have a look at it. If you need a bit more help with that, please click on the link to my tutorial at the end of the video. If you want to jump straight into the song, please play along with my my special collaboration that I did for this one with the Nottingham Music Service. So do enjoy that with a range of different instruments that we put together for this video. So you can click on one of those links at the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed the mini tutorial. If you have, please do like and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, this is my mini tutorial for Ponyo, or Gake no Ue no Ponyo, to give it its full Japanese name. This is one of my favorite Studio Ghibli anime films, and one with such a beautiful theme tune. It's really worth looking at on your ukulele, and even more worth looking at in the original Japanese to give it some authenticity. You can do this one in English, but it's so much more special to learn the Japanese. And if you look at the sheet music I've done, it's written out in what's called a romaji, which is basically a sort of English version of Japanese. So it's an easy alphabet to follow, and you can basically read that as English and read the Japanese words there. So we're going to have a look just at the opening verse and see the chord progressions we'll need, and look at the different strumming patterns within that. And once you've mastered that, you'll be able to have a look at the whole song if you want to. So here we go, let's jump straight into it. So we've got a few different chords. I'm just going to play through to begin with, so you get a feel for it, and listen out for the different strumming that I'm using. Ponyo, 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 sakana no ko, aoi umi kara yahata kita. Ponyo, 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 fukura handa, mamaru onaka no onano ko. So we've got just 4 lines there, but there's quite a lot to look at. It starts on the F, and you'll see I've got 2 colour strumming patterns here. I've got the blue one, which is basically down, down, up, down, up. So it starts off with a nice lilting ponyo, ponyo, ponyo on the F. And then we go into the B flat with a down, down, up, which I've marked in orange. Sakana no ko. And I just do it once on each chord. So B flat, F. The first thing here that I think we need to look at is the transition from the F to the B flat, and just make sure everyone is comfortable with that, because when you think it through, it's actually very easy. So here's our F, and then our B flat. Back to the F, B flat. And hopefully what you're realizing is that actually with the F to the B flat, our first finger pretty much stays in the same place. So for the F, my first finger is on the E string on the first fret. For the B flat, it needs to be on the E and the A. So I'm literally just flattening my first finger across the E and the A string. Now my second finger then moves down a string from the G to the C. So I'm dropping it. If I do the F, it's the B flat. So I'm flattening my first finger, dropping my second finger down a string, and then just adding my third finger. And actually my three fingers make a bit of a diagonal line once I've done that. So it just helps me remember where to put my third finger. Equally, I'm basically putting it on the top string as well, on the G string. So it's quite an easy one to remember. So the F to the B flat. Once you've thought it through, what you're doing with your fingers, it's a really easy progression, and it's a nice one to do, actually, and it just works. So we're doing quite a quick transition between the B flat and the F once we're on that down, down, up pattern. So we'll start from the top again. It starts with the long F with the down, down, up pattern, the blue pattern, and then switches to that bouncy down, down, up, and we do that once per chord. So here we go. Ponyo, ponyo, ponyo. B flat to the F, sakana no ko, back to the B flat, oi umi kada, F again, yeah, G7 here, dekita. So you just got to practice your G7 to the C7. We started on the F, didn't we? So it's F, G7, C7. Now the thing to note there is when you're doing your F to the G7, F to the G7, my first finger didn't need to move. Hopefully yours didn't either. So the F to the G7, your first finger stays on that E string on the first fret. Do that with me. F to the G7. And then you just drop it for the C7 onto the A string on the first fret. So let's do that again. It's all about the first finger there, pivoting and moving around the first finger. So F, G7, and then drop your first finger for the C7. Hopefully you're seeing how that works. Let's just do those two lines again. Ponyo, 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 B flat, sakana no ko, F. That's the B flat, ahoi, umi, F kada. G7, ya, tekita on the C7. Then same again, back to the F and the long F with the down, down, up, down, up pattern. Ponyo, 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 B flat and F again on the short pattern. Fukura handa. Ma, B flat and F again, ma, maru, onakano, and then just C and F at the end. Onano, ko, then a long F. When I say long F, I mean the down, down, up, down, up pattern, the long pattern there. So that's the first verse, and the rest of the song pretty much follows that pattern. There are a few different parts in the middle, but they're not too tricky to master. So if you've enjoyed the song, please do look at the two videos at the end. If you need a bit more help with it, do look at the tutorial. If you think you're ready to go for sing through, have a look at the sing along, and like I said, the links will both be at the end of the video. So I hope you've enjoyed my mini tutorial. Do like and subscribe, please, if you have, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. This is my mini tutorial for Wellerman, a fantastic sea shanty that you'll really enjoy playing on your ukulele. Now, I had a bit of fun with a couple of friends recording the video for this one, so do look at that at the end of the video if you want to. I'll also leave my full tutorial so you can get a little bit more help if you need to as well. Although I'm going to have a look at the chorus and one verse in this now, so you can really see how the whole song works. So that pretty much should cover everything for you. But I will leave those links for you to explore further videos on my channel as well. So let's start with the verse. Now, all the way through this, don't be confused by the fact that on the sheet music I've put two color chords, blue and red. Normally that would refer to two different strumming patterns. However, we're going to do the whole song with a down, down, up strumming pattern. That just goes through both the verses and the choruses. The reason I color coded it was really just to help with the sort of visuals on the page. There's a lot of verses and you've got to fit the chorus in between each one. So I did the chorus in red just so you can easily see when you're going through the sheet, the music, you can easily see where to go back to, because otherwise it's easy to get lost because there's so many different verses, and that's why I've done that. But it's basically one strumming pattern all the way through. So if we start on the verse 1, Goes like this. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard about, dip down, oh blow me, bully boys blow. Ha! Then wins the chorus on the F. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguey is done, we'll take our leave and go. So it's really very simple, very nice and steady. The only tricky bit of all the different lyrics. So some of them are a few tongue twisters in there, easily get you tongue tied. So do have a careful look at the lyrics. Let's have a quick look at that verse 1 there a bit more slowly, and I'll talk you through the chords. So it starts on the A minor. There once was a ship that put to sea. Now we switch to the D minor. Actually, we just flatten our second finger there, add our first, and we've got the D minor. And the name of that ship was back to the A minor. Just lift your fingers off and go back to the A minor position. Billy O.T. Stay on the A minor. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down, oh E7. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Ha! Do a bit of a slap there if you want to as well. So the one there to watch out for is the E7. Just got to switch from the A minor to the E7. Just got to be comfortable knowing where your E7 is. Then we're on the F to the C. Trick there, you make sure you're using your first and second finger on the F, and then your third finger on the C. Really nice, easy transition between the two. Soon may the Wellerman come, D minor, to bring us sugar. But again, we're using our first and second fingers, so we can almost have them hovering ready. So we're sort of alternating between first and second fingers there to third finger and back to first and second fingers. Also, quick tip, D minor to the A minor. The A minor is basically the top string of your D minor if you look at the chord diagrams. So you just lift that second finger up, pinch that top G string, take your first finger off out the way. Just do that first two lines. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. So first and second finger on the F, third finger on the C, first and second finger on the D minor, second finger on the A minor, and then it's same again on the F and the C. One day when the tonguey is done, then to the E7, we'll take our leave and go. So most of that is just involving the F, C, and A minor. Easy just to switch between your first and second finger and your third finger. The E7 is the one you just need to have a good look at and make sure you're comfortable with the fingers you need for the E7. Apart from that, it's a really easy song to follow. So please do have a look at the sing-along I've done with a couple of friends on YouTube at the end of the video. I'll leave the link to that now. But also, there's the tutorial there if you want a little bit more help learning the song. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have done, please do like and subscribe. It always helps. And I'll see you next time. This is my mini 4-minute tutorial for You Raise Me Up, which is such a sensational and soaring song to enjoy singing on your ukulele. I'll leave the full links to my tutorial and sing-along at the end of the video for you to really get into if you enjoy the video and want to take the song a little bit further. So we're going to look at just the main chorus today and have a quick talk about the verses, but they're quite simple. So we're going to focus on the chorus, which is really the fast part of the song and the bit you want to get your head around, and then you'll be able to jump into the whole song. So it goes a little bit like this. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. So you can see there how much energy and how enjoyable that is to sing. And there's quite a few chords in there, although they're relatively straightforward. So we're just going to do a quick talk through that. Before we do, I just want to point out the tempo difference that you need to have between the chorus and the verse. So we've got quite a fast chorus, and then it needs to slow down to go back into the verse. We actually do a strumming pattern change there as well. You raise me up to more than I can be. No life without its hunger. So for the verses, we do this beautiful slow down, down, up, down. When I am down, and oh, my soul so weary. verse 1 there. They're really slow. But then when we get to the chorus, you don't want to stay with that down, down. It doesn't work. You raised me up so I can stand on mountains. We go into the down, down, up pattern if I do it on the C. So that's the one you need there. And it just gives a beautiful transition, beautiful change and contrast between the slow verse and then the soaring chorus there as well. So let's just go through the chords we'll need. Starts on the A minor. Well, actually, it starts on the C. And what you'll do at the end of each verse, sit a while with me. When you land on that final C at the end of the verse, you go into the faster strumming pattern. Me. So on the C, you raise me, then to the A minor, up so to the F, I can stand on C, mountains G. You raise me, A minor, up to F, walk on stormy, C and G, C's. I am C, strong when F, I am on your C to the F again, shoulders. You raise me, C to G7, up to more than I can be. Back on the C there. So I just want to focus on A minor, F, C, and G. Just make sure we're comfortable with that loop, because there's a few little tricks we can do with our fingers there to make that really easy to follow, and then you're good to go with the whole song. So A minor is our second finger on the second fret, and it's important to use your second finger because that helps them for the F transition. And that's on the G string, of course, at the top of your ukulele. So there's your A minor. Then you add your first finger on the first fret on the E string, which takes you to the F. So we've got the A minor to the F, and that leaves your third finger free to switch to the C string, the C chord, which is on the A string, on the third fret. So we can go A minor, F, C, just by adding different fingers and then taking them off. So start with your second finger for the A minor, add your first finger for the F, go to your third finger for the C, and then all three for the G. So for the G, just lift your third finger up and then add the first and second finger onto the second fret. So you just lift your third finger up one string, add your first and second finger on the second fret for the G. So let's just practice that on a nice down, down, up pattern. A minor, F, C, and G, and then you'll be good to go for the song. A minor, F, C, and G. A minor, second finger. Add your first for the F, third finger for the C, and then G. One last time. A minor, F, C, and G. Okay, and there you are. So that is really the chorus. And like I say, the verses follow very similar in a very similar way. There's a G7 in there as well, but I'll let you have a look at that yourselves. And then you're good to look at the song. So you can either have a look at the tutorial if you want a little bit more help with it. I'll leave a link to that. Also, my play along at the end of the video. So have a look at that as well. And you can just go straight into singing the whole thing. There's a lovely added accordion from Ukulele George all the way over in America with that one as well. So do enjoy checking that video out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have done, please do like and subscribe. It really does help a lot. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.